Good afternoon all, Adam Braun here. As IPSC and the match directors may be using Practiscore more for our matches, I thought I'd take the opportunity to make a quick tutorial and tour through Practiscore and how to register for a match. Practiscore is not affiliated with IPSC, however, over the years, Practiscore has been widely accepted as a good companion to many shooting sports. Let's jump into it, shall we? First thing we're going to want to do is head over to Practiscore.com. Once you get to Practiscore's website, click up here on Register. Enter in your email address, password, and name. For your email address, make sure it's an address that you monitor because you're going to get access information as well as results sent to this email address. And for your name, make sure your first and last name are your actual name so that it shows up properly in the scores and on the match registration. Once you click the register button and you see this page here, you can, if you want, click the add sport profile. And here we can select the types of disciplines that we're going to shoot. For now, we'll just put IPSC and our number. This will be your number. If you don't have your IPSC number yet, you can add this later under your profile and then click Save. Once you're done with that, we can go skip and go straight to my dashboard. From here, we're going to have a list of information that once you start getting matches through Practiscore, you'll be able to access them through here. Over here, we have our dashboard as well as our profile settings. And then under our dashboard, if we scroll down, this is where we're going to see in this section here is where our matches are going to show up. I switched over to my actual account so you can see that I'm actually registered for 3 matches. This provincials was actually supposed to happen last year, but because of COVID, it got bumped. So you can see over on the right here that I'm actually approved and that I've paid and I've squatted. For these 2 other matches that are just got released today, I've registered for them, but I have not been yet approved and I haven't been able to squad and payment has not been done yet. Down here, these will be matches that are recent in your area, not necessarily specific to you. Next, we're going to head over to IPSCBC.com. We're going to log in. And then we're going to come over to the members drop down, go to match calendar. In here, depending on what time of the year it is, they should have the matches pretty much laid out for the year. Here you can see we have April, May, June, etc., etc. Normally, these matches would be set for registration 3 months before the actual date. If you look at each of these cards, you'll see the main title says that this is an IPSCBC qualifier, number 1 and number 2. Be careful not to mistake this for the date. This is just qualifier number 1, qualifier number 2, and they're sequentially numbered as the year goes on. The date of the match is located on the left here. So this is a match that occurs on April 3rd and April 4th. This may be 1 match over 2 days or 2 matches, 1 on each day. That's specific to the individual card, and you'll need to click in the drop down to get more information on that. Due to COVID, many of these matches at the beginning of the year are postponed, potentially even canceled, until we get clarification on whether the restrictions are lifted. So many of these matches are showing as pending, but if we scroll down here to June, you'll see that we actually have a match open for registration, shown by the open here. So if we click on this drop-down box, we're going to get more information about the match. This tells us that this is an IPSCBC qualifier. There are other types such as club matches, qualifiers, provincial championships, and national championships, as well as some other ones, but it will be listed here. And here you can see that this is shown as we're registering for the date of the 14th and also a separate registration for the 15th. If we wanted to participate in both of these matches, we would have to do 2 separate registrations. Down here you'll find match information, match fees, EMT information, as well as mailing or address information, and who is the person to contact for more information on top of that. So if we click on one of these links, it will take us to Practiscore and take us directly to the registration requirements for this match. From clicking on the link, it's going to take us to the Practiscore page for this event. If we scroll down a little bit, we're going to get the qualifier number 14, date and location information, price for the match, which you can pay through Practiscore once that is enabled. Currently, we haven't even registered for the match, so we'll set this aside for the moment. We have a match breakdown, which just lists the amount of people that are going to be registered. As this is not set up yet by the match director, most of this information is blank, so we'll ignore it for now. Then we have match documents. We have a COVID plan, which you can read at your own leisure, and the match copy. Match copy will list things like how many stages, how many rounds and points it is, who the match director is, rules specific to the match. Here's a map to the range, as well as a list of all of the stages. These stages are for reference only and are subject to change up to and including the day of the match. So use these for general guidelines. They'll have things in here such as start positions, round counts, types of targets and locations. But once again, this is for general information only. Don't use this verbatim. So if we go back here to Practiscore, we can scroll down into the registration part. This first, last name, and email should be populated for what you already entered into IPSC. We're going to assume most new shooters are going to be in the production division. If you are new, you're most likely going to start as an unclassified. As you move up through the ranks, you'll be the D class, C, B, A, Master, Grandmaster, and I'm not exactly sure what X is. If you are junior, senior, super senior, or lady, you can check these boxes. You'll need to know the power factor of your particular pistol. If you're shooting production, you will be shooting a minor power factor. Your member number, this is your IPSC number. If you're a new black badge student, you can just type in here black badge student. Your contact information, this is very important. Make sure this is somebody that lives in the general area, not overseas if you can avoid it, in case assistance is required. If you're a range officer or a chief range officer or a range master, you would probably know that. Otherwise, just put yourself as an able-bodied helper. This section here is in response to the COVID issue where there's an unusual amount of shooters that have to do their first qualifier or renewing qualifiers that don't have a lot of match experience under their belt. I highly recommend, as a new shooter, select the new members squad, and this will alert the match director you may require some extra assistance when running the match. Then you would click the register button. From there, you'll receive a confirmation email saying that you have registered for the match. You will have a list of the information you provided. Make sure this is correct. If it is not, you can go back into Practiscore and modify that. Also, you'll have in here a link to take you back into Practiscore to your match management page. This is specific to you. This is not something that you share with other people. Once the match director has reviewed your registration request, you will receive a follow-up email that says that you are able to squad, and usually will have the payment information in there as well. If we click on that link, it will take us back into Practiscore. Here we'll give you additional information regarding payment and squatting. If we scroll down to the bottom, you see the approval info says that we are not approved to shoot yet. So we'll just be patient and wait for the match director to review this. You will receive an email with that updated information. Hope this helps. We'll see you in the next one.